Hi there everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, fairly recently, I rewatched the entirety of Lost. It's one of my favourite TV shows of all time, and my partner got the chance to watch it for the very first time. Outside of seasons, I was viewing every death as various checkpoints throughout the series, which got me thinking about the saddest deaths witnessed. So here it is, the 5 saddest Lost deaths in my opinion. So, in an attempt to get Ben to cooperate, a group from the freighter arrive on the island and use Ben's daughter as bait. We as the audience witness Kimi holding a gun to Alex's head and demanding Ben to exit the building in order to save his daughter's life. She begs and pleads, but Ben's selfishness won in the end and it cost him his daughter's life. We see this pain through Ben's eyes, and the fear and desperation in her own eyes. I think what clinches this as an emotional death is the betrayal from her own father. After flashing back to the present day on the island, the crater becomes an unstable magnetic field and drags Juliet in. I think the biggest thing about this one is just the shock value at the beginning. Out of nowhere, one of the mains is put in peril danger. While I think a great deal of this sadness comes from how desperate she was to leave the island, only staying as Sawyer asked her to, which did blossom into arguably the best romance of the show. A great deal of this devastation comes from Sawyer's point of view, as he feels like Jack didn't just rob his life, but also the woman he loved. It was a brutal and a sad ending for her. This is arguably the coldest and most savage loss of the whole list. John himself attempts to take his own life after feeling like an utter failure, being unable to convince any of his friends to return to the island with him. Ben convinces him to walk away and seems to be genuinely kind up until the mention of Eloise Hawkins pushes him over the edge, in a cold and calculative move. He strangles John. This is harsh as it drives home just how unremarkable and unimportant John really was. The one thing he never wanted to be. And to make it worse, the man in black desecrates his corpse and name. He literally became the island's puppet in the end. 2 fan favourites fall in the saddest way. So the man in black tricks the candidates onto a submarine which blows up. Sun becomes trapped underwater. No matter how hard Jin and Sawyer tried, they're unable to shift the piping, so Sun accepts this is the end. Jin, who is so devout to her, refuses to leave her alone, so they both drown together. I think this is so depressing, as they spent a season and a half apart and they fell right as they found each other. To top it all off, Jin will never get the chance to meet his young daughter. The actual drowning itself seems to be the worst death as well. It's bittersweet that they went out together though. So Charlie is a bit of a unique case, as himself and the audience knew his death was inevitable during season 3. As Desmond was able to alter events and save him a few times. The survivors realise their only chance of getting off the island lies with the communication underwater. Charlie volunteers to swim down and sort it out. He does this nobly, knowing he will likely drown to do it. I think the sadness for this one comes from Charlie's character development. He went from a struggling drug addict to a kind hero. He was put down a lot throughout his time on the show, but ultimately came up as one of the bravest in the end. Well, they're just my picks. I would love to hear what you would pick. Let me know in comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to stay up to date, then please hit that like button and subscribe. It will help the channel continue to grow. Remember, be cautious of mysterious islands and your own morality. I'll see you all very soon.